Hey everybody, welcome to Ellis Mowers. I appreciate y'all watching as always. Remember, you can find me online at ellismowers.com. Emails ellis@ellismowers.com. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook and right here on YouTube. So thank y'all again for all watching and all the support. We're going to work on a Generac generator today. It is a 7500 EXL Generac. It's got a 15 horsepower engine. Of course, they source their own engines. They're probably made by somebody in China. Got an electric start. I think the battery's dead on it. The only thing I was instructed to do is get this thing running. At this point, it's only running for a few seconds, so I think it just needs the main jet of the carb cleaned out, and hopefully it's easy. So let's go ahead and get started on this generator and see what we can manage with it. Give you all a quick walk around as always. Like I said, electric start. The guy that I'm working on this for, this is a customer's generator. The guy I'm working on this for, he has mostly maintains his own stuff in terms of like changing the oil and whatnot. Just whenever they stop running or have issues or whatever, that's when he reaches out. Fixed a couple things for him already. But it's a pull start. Probably could use a rope soon, but probably need to lube that up to get it to so it'll grab. But what it'll do, it's in the run position right now. We'll see if I can get it to start for us. Throw a little bit of lube into that starter mechanism. So it's in run position with the choke on. Gas is on as well. There's a little gas in it. That's just sound coming from the pull rope. Nothing crazy. So it's not starting on choke, but whenever I get the air filter off, we're going to spray a little carb spray in it. I'll show you that it'll actually start briefly for us. Come on. I love when the screwdriver likes to slide out of the bolt. So air filter, pre-filter look good. See if I can pull it over right here. No. Choke, run. I feel like I'm missing something. Maybe not. Maybe it's... Oh, the choke is to the left. You would think they'd put the choke on the, but so it should start now. It should turn off here in a second. There it goes. It'll run for just a couple of seconds and then it'll turn right off. So you choke it back. See if it'll start back up for us. I'm going to put a pull rope mechanism on this thing. We might have to get the pull rope off of it too to see if we can get it to start. Alright, well, we'll get the pull rope off. See if we can get that going again. All right, we're going to take the 8mm bolts off of this thing. See what happened to it. Oh, interesting. So the little bolt came out for the starter mechanism. I don't know if y'all can see that, but I got all the hardware right here. So let's see if I can figure out how this all went together. I figured the spring would go right in there, and the little teeth go in there. Does it matter which way? I don't think so. Maybe it does. No, not that way. This is going like so. Let's see. Seems to have fixed it. Let's put it back on. I'll spare y'all that footage. And we'll crank it back up, see if I can get it to work consistently again. Alright guys, one thing I want to check is to see, I don't know exactly on this Generac how this low oil indicator works, if it'll run for a couple of seconds. Because it's not acting like a fuel issue, it's almost acting like a spark issue where it just immediately shuts down. And so I don't know if it allows the engine to run for like 5 seconds or so, and then if it doesn't sense the correct amount of oil, which it has, the oil is up to the threads, which is where it's supposed to be on this thing. So I've got this unplugged. Also, it's tied to the run stop switch. So we'll see what it does now. If it will crank and run for us. If not, it may be a carb issue. We'll see. What it is that switch. Kind of sounds like it's running a little fast to me. I'll check. Obviously, I can check the voltage at the outlets over there to see what it's doing. I want to see if the idle feature works now. I mean, it's a low oil switch. It's obvious because I unplugged it and it works. So. a while since he's run. She's running a little fast. Going down to about 120. I'll turn it on idle while I do this. You get a deep well 8mm. And what we're going to do, and just back the throttle down just a little bit. We're going to pull it that way some. So, so we'll take that and just back it off a little bit. See if that does anything. Sounds a little bit better. that helped. That helped a little bit, but I think this has got one of those little paddle. Oh, it does have one of them little paddle type things that you've got to like pull out, and I don't know, because it's not fully in there now. Unless I need to continue to back it off some more. Well, we're pulling about 128 at the plug. And I wonder if I need to back it off into that other spring hole right there in order to get it. 'Cause I want it like 120 to 125. I don't want it 128 to 130. So let me see. I can get it off here. There we go. Okay. See if that does anything. I might hurt it more. I don't know. We'll find out. Let me put it on. Idle control. Okay. Chug it. Still more than we want. Alright. I'll tweak this a little bit more, see what I can figure out. We're a little better. There we go. I think it's pulling like 130, and you want it down closer to about 120. I think 130 might be okay, but you don't want to throw too much power to your whatevers. The only thing was, I was doing it right. The only thing was, I just didn't have enough. If I had a wrench, it'd have been better. But since this moves a little bit, I didn't have enough leverage on this ratchet, and it was just moving around. It wasn't doing anything. So, and I moved it up one hole for the spring. I don't think it'll make that much of a difference. Maybe may make the governor a little bit slower to kick in, but probably pretty negligible. Man, this thing was screaming, wasn't it? I don't have an RPM gauge, but it was cruising. I'm gonna put everything back together, air filter wise. I'll make sure that I'll test the 120s. I don't have a 240 outlet or anything 240 that I can test, but should be good. I'll contact the customer, see if he wants to replace the oil switch. I just tell him keep an eye on the oil, and I think he'll be cool with that. Just charge him the fee for diagnosing and transport, and we'll be good to go. So while I've got it here, I mean, this pull rope is ready to go. I'm gonna go ahead and get it fixed as well. I'm knocking Generac, but check that out. You see where it says made in Japan on there? Huh. Maybe Generac doesn't skimp out on their products, or at least on this model. Must be a Japanese engine. Pull rope, super simple. Just gonna pull it out. Shoot, we'll do it right here on the little cabinet here. I really don't need the hubcap trim rings anymore. Let me get the cabinet set up and we'll just replace it on camera since this video is relatively short so far. Let's do it. Pull rope time. This seems like it's holding up okay. This must have worked its way loose or something. I mean, the thing was running. The thing was screaming. Y'all could hear it. Now I feel like I got it running a little slow, but I mean, it's pulling out the voltage that it needs to pull out, so it's directly tied to RPM, so I think that's what it needs to do. I haven't used these in a while. Wow. Alright, so I got a screwdriver just holding it in place. I pulled it out. We're going to knot it. We're going to cut the knot off. Boom. Whew. My tools are split between the house and the garage right now doing renovations. I get a screwdriver and just pull this up. Can probably make this one work. There we go. We're just going to cut this knot off as well. So what I usually do, I know this rope's a little thicker. It's not really going to matter. It's pretty easy to start either way. Take the new rope. We're just going to cut it to, I wonder if this rope I've got right here will work. Actually, it will. How about that? This is new rope as well. We just cut this mess to length, leave a little extra on there for the knots that I'm going to tie. Right there. Alright, take a towel or something. So the time of year that my garage, I've unfortunately done a number on my garage throughout the season, and this is the point that I need to clean it out. See if I got enough in this cigarette lighter to light us up one more time here. Come on, buddy. There we go. I've already burned, oh, man, strong. I've already burned the other end. So we'll see if that works. Find your little eyelet in the generator there. This is where the screwdriver comes in too. You line up your eyelets so that you just have to pop and do about 2 or 3. I might do 3 knots here. We'll see. I'll see what I decide to do. Because this does call for a little bit bigger rope, but this will work just fine for what we want to use it for. Okay. So that works beautifully. Now we'll get this on the other side. Got to feed it up through this first, and then we'll feed it up through this. And I care, for pull ropes, I care more about the functionality of it as opposed to the presentation. So we're going to double knot it here, and then it's just extra insurance, guys. That's the only reason why I do this. And then we're going to pull this back into the starter rope. Just like that. Wind it back up. And we're done. Let me put this back on. Get my little heat gun out and we'll test this thing under load, and then we'll wrap this video up. Also, because I have a bad memory, I don't remember if I showed y'all where the switch was for the low oil that I unplugged, but it's right here. So if you unplug it, just check the oil, make sure that it's fine, and you should be good. I mean, it's what you should do anyways, but I'm sure the EPA or whoever decided they wanted to put that on there. Probably because you run it for, you can run these things for long durations, and you know, they might power necessary supplies and stuff like that. So I can understand it, but for a general homeowner who's using this, just check your oil when your power goes out, or when you're prepping your generator for when the power goes out, and you should be fine. Let me get this thing on. I just wanted to remember to show you all that if I did not already. Alright guys, final test here before I call this one done. We're gonna run it. Make sure the idle function works like it should. And then we're gonna test that. That's a decent, that's like 1500 watts for the heat gun right there. Puts a decent load on this thing, and it makes me show that all the basics work on this thing. This thing always got to choke it to get it cranked. That's much better. Idle control. Check the voltage one last time. $123. So I mean, I'm going to tell the customer that he just needs to check the oil on the thing, and it'll run just fine. It happens. This is the second low oil switch this year that's gone bad. Obviously, you can test them, but you can go through the whole process of testing them and changing them out. But for a homeowner's purpose, you should be checking your oil before you use your generator anyways. And if it's using that much oil for just a couple of days of use, I mean, you should be adding it, but like, you should be checking it before you start it up every day. Then you've got a bigger problem, at least in my opinion. But I will tell him that, and he'll totally be fine with it. because I've known the guy for years. That his low oil switch is bad. I just unplugged it and it runs great. It's going to serve him the exact purpose that he needs it for, just to power his home. Again, we adjusted the throttle on it to get the voltage back down to about 120 coming out of the plug. You kind of want 120, 130 was a little high in my opinion. Probably get by with 125. We got it sitting at 123. And we put a new pull rope in it. I think that's good enough for this one. Again, he'll get the diagnosis, delivery, pickup and delivery fee, plus the charge to put the pull rope on. Not too bad to get a running generator again. So I appreciate y'all watching. As always, remember my email is ellis@ellismowers.com. My website's ellismowers.com. You can catch me on Instagram and Facebook as well. Thank y'all for all the support here at the channel and just in what I do here in this little garage on the side. Thank y'all again for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.